Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fascinating collaboration today. I love we've got actual visual imagery of where this puzzle was conceived or dreamt up, and I'm going to show you the picture now of Florian Wertmann and Ictus on the summit of Mount, I'm going to say Sauntis, might be pronounced differently. It's S-A with an umlaut, N-T-I-S, which is in Switzerland. But on a day like they were lucky enough to have, at the top of Mount Sauntis, you can see 6 countries, I read, including Liechtenstein, which is a phenomenal view. This is one of the Alps in northeast Switzerland. And wow. Anyway, obviously, Florian and Ictus met for a climb together. There's no suggestion they took the aerial tramway, I'm happy to say. But the result of their meeting was this video. Now, I mean, some people will go to any lengths not to be overheard when collaborating on a Sudoku, it would seem. But I love the idea that they've created this puzzle from that meeting and sent it in to us. It is a killer Sudoku with a single diagonal constraint in it. Give it a go if you fancy it. But before you do that, don't forget that out on Patreon this week we have Demono's brilliant new short story, Solver in Sudoku Land, with Sudokus to do to get our character back to his normal height. And we recommend you give it a go. It's fascinating. And then there's a Google form to fill in to send your answer in. And answers are coming in, so that system is working, I'm delighted to say. Now, what else have we got going on? We've got, of course, many congratulations to those who helped complete the ARG, an alternate reality game that was going on the Discord server. And so many thanks to the guys who ran it, who we will... I don't know if Simon's named them already. And I'm terrified that if I start now, I'm going to forget one of them. So I'm not going to name them. I'll name them tomorrow. Anyway, thank you to those guys for running it. And of course to Hildegard herself, who was having all the trouble in the dark ages and was helped by people in the ARG. We will be posting links, they will be under this video, as to how you can look at, either experience the ARG from the beginning or just look at how it worked out. It's really interesting. That was on Discord. We've of course got all our apps, Sven SUDOKU PAD, the merchandise. Check it all out on the links under the video. But the first one is to this puzzle named after the mountain on which we've just seen the authors. So it's called Sauntis, and the rules are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply, 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. We've got the marked diagonal. Digits cannot repeat on that, so that is a set of the digits 1 to 9. And digits in a cage include no repeats and sum to the small number given. There we go. Give it a try. I am going to reset my clock and say, let's get cracking. And I see some cages which only have one possible fill, a 9, 7 for the 16. This 15 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's great. That immediately tells me that these two cells are 6, 8, because they're a naked pair. They see every cell in this cage. They see both of these in the same box. So they must be 6 and 8. These two must be the same as those two. The 16 cage has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now, that's not so clear-cut about these two and these two. These are clearly from 5, 7, 8, and 9, because they see all of those digits again. But if this is 7, 8, that's a 5, 9 pair. If this is 6, 9, that's a 7, 8 pair. No, it could even have a 5 in it, so I'm talking gibberish already. Now, 15 cages down here. These must involve 6, 7, 8, and 9. Adding up to 30 in some way as well. And then we've got a quadruple in the first column. 6, 8, 7, 9 there. There is also a hidden quadruple in the second column. because the 10 cage is going to have to contain one of 6, 7, 8 or 9, and the other 3 are explicitly in those cells. So everything else apart from the 10 cage in columns 1 and 2 is from the low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 itself doesn't appear in the 5 cage. I know I am heavily pencil marking this puzzle now, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are involved there. One of 1, 2, 3 or 4 is in the 10 cage. And that's all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So 6, 7, 8, 9 go there. 5 must now be actually in one of those 2 cells. It can't be in the 5 cage or the 10 cage. I have a feeling I'm not approaching this puzzle in the right way, and I'm botching the efforts of the brave mountaineers. These are definitely from 6, 7, 8 and 9 as well. And that's 3 of them in this row, and could easily be a 4th. And we've got this 10-5 configuration here as well. What's going on, guys? I am clearly not 100% sure. These are also from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 3 on the diagonal already from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now we're getting outside the province of the cages where I know what's going on, and I'm struggling a bit, therefore. Okay, let's uncolour those, because that didn't really help. Let's colour 15 matchups. So we'll call that purple and that green. This cell now can't be green, so it must be a purple 15 cage there. I'm just wondering if this is going to yield anything for these 2 big digits in the ways they go together. Yeah, down here we have 2 of the... must have one of the pairs that make 15, and it must be the purple pair. So one of these cells is green. And that means both of these are purple, and both of these are green. That's weird. So these add up to 15, these add up to 15. One of these at least is green. Ah, this one, yes, there we go. This sees all the greens and all the purple cells. So it can't be 9, 8, 7 or 6. That is 5. That's interesting. This one is green. It's one of the big digits. And, oh no, I was going to say that sees all of these. And I was going to say something mad about whether 6 could be involved. I'm not going to say that. That is not a 5 now. This has 2 low digits in. One of those 2 is low and one is high. There's a high digit in here. So that must be from 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The high digit in here is green. Yeah, so there's another purple digit to put in this row, and it can't be there because both purples are in that box, so it is here. This colouring was worth it. Is it interesting that the green cell in here can't be 9? I don't think it is. There's 1 purple and 1 green up here. Oh, and the last green... No, I don't know. There could be a green 6 here, couldn't there? Yeah, there is a green 6 there, because there's not a green here. This sees 2 greens. And there's not a green here. So there is a green in this set, and it is a 6. So, green are 6 and 9, and that cell is a 9. Wow, I mean, was that much more obvious than I was finding it? I don't know. I'm pleased to have found it. It gives me a start on the puzzle. Now, this is either 9, 1 or 4, 6, because green is 6 or 9, or 6 and 9. That is a 4, 6 pair, so this doesn't have 4 in it. That's a 2, 3 pair. Purples are all 7 and 8. So in this bottom row, we've just got 1 and 4 to place. Now, 6 was one of those cells, green. I'm sorry, I'm trying to part colour them. There we go. I don't know. I don't feel as advanced as I thought I might be when I disambiguated the 15s. But I am pleased to have got there. Let's just take it easy. Go gently amidst the noise and haste and try and figure out what's going on. That couldn't be 2, 3 or 4. So 9 is definitely up here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am interested in where 5 is here, but I don't think I've actually got a lot of information about it. Oh, this is interesting. Well, I don't know, is it? It can't be 5, 6, 8 or 9 by the digits that the few digits that we filled in prevent that. So it's either a low digit, and if it was 1, 2, 3 or 4, that would force that digit into these places. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Right. This works and is important. Right. If this digit was 1, 2, 3 or 4, all of which digits must appear in the 15 cage and the 16 cage, look what would happen. It would force blue into one of those cells and one of those cells. And then in this box, that blue digit couldn't appear in any of those, but it's also not allowed on the diagonal again. That's gorgeous. That's amazing, actually. I'm very pleased to spot that. This is not 1, 2, 3 or 4. We now know it's a weird naked single 7. I mean, it's very clever. That probably doesn't do anything. It's probably not on the solution path because it feels quite recondite to find that, but it's nice. Now, there's a 9 in one of those cells by Sudoku. There's a 9 in one of these. Is there a way of proving it's not in the 14 cage? I wouldn't think there is. 7 is somewhere here and somewhere up here. So 7 isn't in this 16 cage. That still leaves an awful lot of possibilities. 16 is such an averagey number for three digits that ruling 7 out doesn't really... Okay, it tells you, I'll tell you this, there's either a 9 or an 8 in it, but not both. If both were in it, they would already add up to 17 and break the cage. If neither was in it, the most you could make this up from is 654, which isn't enough. So either 9 is there in that cell, or 8 is in one of those two. And whichever one it is, you then have... No, I was going to say you then have 2 low digits. That's not necessarily true at all. You could have a 6. So I haven't really advanced much. Oh, these can't have a 4 because there's a 4 in this cage. Do I really? Maybe I should know. Yes, that 1 or 4 there sorts out this cage. Can't be a 1-4 cage. So that's a 2-3 cage. Now, that can't have a 2 or a 3 in it. That didn't resolve what this cage was, which I kind of thought was going to happen, and it didn't. This is still not a quad. I'd love it to be a quad. It just isn't. 8 must be in one of those cells, I've just noticed, and one of those 3. So if that was a 9 and that was the high digit here, 8 would be there. This pair would add up to 8. They would have to be 2, 6. That would be 1, 3, 4. That would be 2, 6. Oh, now I'm looking at that 1 or 4, which can't be in these cells. So one of those is 1 or 4. might be worth tracking this digit around. Let's use that lucky light blue colour. It has to be in one of those two cells in that cage. Then it has to be in one of those three in that cage, because it has to be in it. Then it has to be in one of these cells by Sudoku, effectively. Then it's 1 or 4, so it has to sit there, and it's not 5. That's weird. Is that really right? I'm going to just recheck the logic. This digit, 1 or 4, is in this cage, but not those cells. So it's in those two. Now it's in this cage, but not those cells. So it's in those three. Given those, it's in those two. And given that and that, it's in one of these three, but it's 1 or 4. So it's definitely there. So that's not a 5. Now we know that 5 in box 1 is up at the top. These can't be 5s. There's a 5 in one of these cells in box 7. Now there's not a 5 here, and there is a 5 here, and annoyingly that ends any hopes I had of that being a quadruple. But it's still interesting. And I was going to say 5 has missed the diagonal here, but it could still hit it in box 7. Two and 3 must be in this group. That is not the blue 1 or 4. Is it worth tracing this one around as well? I don't think that's going to yield so much. Nearly. Okay, I'm going to colour that. That's orange. It must be in one of those. No, that's not true. It doesn't have to be there because it could be 1 and be there. Yeah, that's... Oh, but it's in this cage along with green, its partner in making 10. So then it's in this group of cells, and it's not here. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's here. However, that is now not 1 or 4 because they're both in this group. Ah. So that's 2 or 3. We can also take 1 and 4 out of those cells. This puzzle is very strange. Oh, those two were going to be the same as those two. That was my earliest purple colouring, and it's true. And now they have to be that one and a 5. Oh, that's very obvious because we've got a 1-4 pair. That wasn't a brilliance of colouring. That was just something that had turned up and I hadn't noticed it. So one of these is 2 or 3, and the other one is blue 1 or 4. So these don't include 1 and 4 because orange and blue are gone in this box. They do include 5, and they do include either 2 or 3, and I have a feeling I'm going to start colouring those in a moment. Four, 6, 2, 3. I haven't found out. Don't think I found out what this is. I'm surprised I can't narrow this down a bit. Maybe I could if I thought about it. It can't be blue, and it can't be green. Oh, green's a 6. Obviously it can't be green. But it could be orange still, so bother. Oh, there is a blue up here somewhere. Just by matching blue and blue there and observing that. So the blue up here is outside the 16 cage. Crumbs. I mean, this is not simple. 4, 6, 2, 3. Do you have to have a lung full of the clear mountain air to understand what's going on in this puzzle, I wonder? I'm finding this tough. Now that can't be 9 or 8 in the cage. And that can't be 9 or 8 on the diagonal as well because of where we've got 9 and 8 positioned in the central box. So the possible positions for 9 and 8 are those three. Not sure what that does. I haven't really looked at this 14 cage. That doesn't have a 7 in it either. Now, if 9 is in it, then it's either 914 or 923. 923 would be quite interesting because it would create a 9235 quad. I mean, the alternative of 9 not being in it is quite interesting because it forces 9 to be there. But I haven't got the wherewithal to make those conclusions yet. Orange is off this diagonal in box 5. It's also not in those cells because that cage already has orange in it. Yeah, I don't quite know what that's doing. Be good to find somewhere that couldn't be orange or blue that I didn't know about yet, but I don't think that's very likely. I feel I might have to be thinking about these cage totals next, because there's not a lot else to go on unless... Well, okay, let's colour that briefly. Let's make that red. Then one of those is the red cell, 2 or 3. And that red cell is in one of these. But it also has to be in this cage, and it's not in those two. So that red cell is in one of those. There we go. That is interesting. Because now the red cell in this box can't be in those and must be here. This is a red cell and it's not therefore 5. Sorry, I'm trying not to put 5 in it and instead accidentally putting 5 in it. So now 5 is here and is on the diagonal. And that's become a 5. That's just Sudoku. Okay, well, it was worth looking at red. And very surprising. Obviously the red's not there. One of these is now a 1, isn't it? No, that's not true. One of them is a 1 or a 4. And the other one is a non-red 2 or 3. A blue 2 or 3. No, not a blue 2 or 3. A 2 or 3 that also appears in that set. Right, whatever is in this is in one of those two. I don't know. It's... Oh, where does 5 go in this box? Not now in any of those places. That's weird. So 5's in the 10 cage. Right, along with 2 low digits. Okay. Either 1, 4, which couldn't both be there, or 2, 3. Right. Come on, 10 cage, what are you telling me? Now, low digits on the diagonal. We've got 1 there and 2 more down in box 7. That's 3 of them. We've still got to fit 3 more high digits onto this diagonal. Oh, that was very weird finding these 5s pointing at that whole set of cells. That's not a 5 as well. Now 5 here would be very interesting. That would force 9 out of the 14 cage. And the 14 cage would then be populated by a pair adding up to 9, which didn't include 7, 8, 6 or 5. That's impossible. 5 cannot go in the cage here, so it goes here. And therefore it's not in this cell, it is definitely here. And now that is a clue, because that 1 or 4 prevents those being a 1-4 pair. They're a 2-3 pair. Did I have a colour for 2-3 as a pair? No, but they include red. So 5 is here. One of these two is a 5. Now, can I prove that 5 isn't here in a similar way? I bet I can't. Because those two would add up to 30. No, they'd add up to 11. And they would definitely be 8, 3. If that's a 5, that's a 3, that's an 8. But that could be a 5 instead. And where's 5 in the middle? It's in one of those. Now, 5, 2 or 3 there could easily be red. I'm tempted to say it is red, but that could be 2 or 3 as well. So I haven't got the confidence there. But now, 2 and 3 cannot be... Well, another way of looking at it is these cells can't contain 2 or 3. In fact, this one can't be 2, 3, 7, 9 or 5. That doesn't leave quite as many options as one would expect. Now we worked out if that's 5, this is 8, that's 3. But if that's 5, this is 5. Can I do any more on red? I don't think so. And 7. Right, actually, let's think about that being 8. That's much more feasible. Because although 5 can't be in here, it could be a 2-4 pair. Right. Well... Now I'm thinking about 9 being in this 14 gauge. 9, 2, 3 would create a big X-wing on 2s and 3s, which would be impossible. Right, this can't be 9, 2, 3, because you'd have too many 2s and 3s in columns 7 and 8. You'd have 5 of them. That's too many. Now, the only other way 9 can be in this cage is if it's 9, 1, 4. Then that'll be red. 9, 1, 4 in the cage. I mean, that's another very interesting thing to think about. If 9 is outside the cage, these can't use 9, 8, 7, 6 or 5. The maximum they can be is 3 and 4. So the minimum this could be is 7. And it couldn't be 7 or 9. So the only way for 9 to be outside the cage is a 2-4 pair here with an 8 here. The only way for 9 to be in the cage is 9, 1, 4 with a 9 in the top slice and 1 or 4 down below. So these are the only possible candidates. 4 is definitely in this cage, either way round, which gives us an X-wing with 4s there, and that says 4's in one of these 3 cells, which is not that useful. Again, if we knew 4 was orange, great, then we could take it out of there. And it would be in there and in one of those, and there'd be progress. But it could easily be not orange, in which case it's going to be here, And here, it would have to be blue if it's not orange. But blue is not... Oh yeah, orange and blue are 1 and 4, aren't they? So... I don't feel I have enough information about them. Not yet. I may be just missing some bit of info that I do have. Right, orange and blue are either both in this or one of them is. Oh, head exploding. I mean, this is not one of those puzzles where I feel there's nothing left to discover. There is a lot left. Those are from 1789, forming a quadruple with that cell. Now, that's very interesting because that's eliminating 1 from all of these places. Now 1 is definitely on that diagonal. That's a weird conclusion. But it's also definitely in those cells because it has to be in this cage. So it's definitely not here. I haven't proved yet that 1 can't be orange just because it's in those 2 cells and blue is in those. One of these 2 is 1 in this box. Now, one of these 2 is a 1, and can I keep that out of the cage? Yes, I can. If 1 was in this cage, these would have to add up to 15, but the high odd digit is unavailable. So 1 is definitely in one of these cells, and again, it doesn't have to be blue, even though the evidence is mounting to suggest that it probably is. But 1 also can't be on this diagonal. It's either there or there. If it's in one of those, then it's there, then it must be in... Oh, it's doing my head in. But 1 is not in the 16 cage. Is that any use? What else did we know is not in it? 7. And this is even. Maybe you need to do a parity think. The only way for this to be odd would be by being a 3. If that's a 3, then this is odd. I think it's a 5, although I'm not sure I've ruled out 9. Otherwise, these are all even. Now that is possible. Although the 3 even digits that add up to 16 are 8, 6, 2, and the 2 would have to be there. And the 6 would be there. So if it was 8, 6, 2, it goes 6, 8, 2. And the only other way this works is with 2 odd digits, including a 3 there. And I reckon either 9, 4 or 5, 8 here. But that can't be a 6 in any of these versions. So I'm taking that out. Is that the key move? It probably isn't. So, this is tough. I mean, this cage has... Both of these cages are kind of left with 2 fills. How do these guys come up with this stuff? I mean, it is just a constant bafflement, isn't it? That can't be 8 anymore. So 8's definitely one of those 2 cells in the column. There's a 2, 3 pair in the row. So, well, that's not that surprising. One of these is 2 or 3. 5, 7, 1, 8 are other digits that we've fairly heavily marked. I'm just a deduction away here. Red. Right. Red is in one of those 2 cells, but it's 2 or 3, so it's not there. It's there. That's red. 2 or 3. So now red is here, and that is not red, and that is red on the diagonal. That's not a very surprising or exciting conclusion. Does it mean that this is red? No, because we worked out the other 2 or 3 is up here. So I'm going to have to colour the other 2 or 3 digit now, I feel. It's about time I did. Even though I barely know any, I mean, I know it's there and there. I'd love to know whether it was in which of those 2 it's in. That would be really quite significant. I don't know. I'm not going to colour the other 2 or 3 yet. I've got that 4 X-wing going on. I thought that would be helpful. I've got a 2-3 pair in this column, so that's not 2. Now, what does that mean? This could still be 2-8 here. If that's a 9, this is a 1-4 pair. If that's a 4, oh, this could be 9-1 or 2-8 in those orders. And if that's a 1, this can be 9-4. I have a feeling there's 1 digit I could take out of this cell if I could work that out again, but I'm not going to because I don't think it'll help. I feel the diagonal. I feel the diagonal is interesting. This one can't be 9 or 8 or 7 or 5. It's also now not red or orange. But it can certainly be 6. It can't be 1, which is in one of those 2. So it can't be 9, 8, 7, 5, 1. So it is 2, 3, 4 or 6. I have a feeling 6 is the easy option. 6 is the one that gets the grid out of trouble and is likely to be right, but it's just a feeling, and that's not worth going on. In this row, actually, 6 has to be in one of those 2 cells. I've only just seen that, and one of these 3 in row 6. 6 in one of those 2 cells. So if that was a 6 on the diagonal, this couldn't be 6 anymore. Then this would have to be odd. That would definitely be a 3. It's so odd when parity is suddenly an issue for things. It's just a weird sensation. That being a 4 would make that an 8. I'm starting to wonder where 1 is in this row, but I think that's still available, so not that useful. Don't quite know what to look for. I don't feel I've got a methodical grasp on this at all yet. 5, 9, 7. Let's have another look in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 6 still to go. Now, if that was a 2, this would be a 6. The 6 in the column would have to be here. So if we had a 2 in row 2, column 6, we'd be on this set of digits. I cannot see where we're going from here. It's really weird. Where does this digit go in box 6? Either there as a 2 or in one of those 2, which seems more likely. But in that case, it's 2 or 3. Ooh, we've got 3 of the low digits in this row already. If we have a 4th one in this box, then these are going to have to be 9 and 8. That's interesting, because if we don't have a fourth one in this box, this digit, then it's there and it's definitely 2, at which point that's 3, 5. It feels like it's got consequences, but I don't know what they are. Thinks. Right, come on, think of something else, Mark. You're getting tracked down a side track only. Sidinged off. 1 and 9 are definitely in this group. 9 hasn't definitively appeared on the diagonal yet and can be in one of those 3, as can 8. I don't know what that tells me. Right, let's think about this 16 cage again. If this is a 4, now how is that coming about with 9? So if that's a 9, this goes 4, 3, and then this becomes 8. Then the 4, 3 go in these cells. That becomes a 2, red becomes a 3, this becomes a 1. No, this has got quite interesting. Light blue is either 1 or 4, and it's in different cells, whichever one it is. A 1 would be there, and a 4 would be there. Wouldn't it be marvellous if I could suddenly prove that light blue has to be on the diagonal here? That would fix everything. I mean, I'd be finishing the puzzle quite quickly if that came to pass. And I have a feeling I'm not very close to a finish to this puzzle at this stage. You will be able to just look at the length of the video and tell me whether I am or not, but that's not what I really want to happen. I want to solve it. Come on, Mark, think of something useful. Think of being up and out on a bright sunny day, and what clarity of vision would come to you. I don't know. So we've been colouring the low digits. We've got orange, light blue and red, so we need a yellow. Yellow is in those 2 cells and is 2 or 3. This is yellow and red in some mixture. This is yellow, that's yellow. Yellow is in one of those 2 places and in one of these 3. And, well, somewhere here, yellow is 2 or 3. And somewhere, where's yellow on the diagonal? There, there, or there. Is there something similar about those? If it's in one of those 2, it's not in those and must be there. If alternatively it's there on the diagonal, it's not there and again must be here. Is that right? Yellow 2 or 3 is either in one of those 2, therefore not here, but is in the 16 cage, so must be here. And alternatively, if it's there, it's not here, and in this row must be in one of those. That is right. One of these is yellow. And it doesn't feel, it feels like that's a false conclusion, because that's now forcing that not to be yellow. which would be very helpful if it's true, but I'm going to go through the logic one more time. Yellow has to be in one of these three places, yellow 2 or 3. If it's in one of those two, it's not there and is in one of these three. If it's there, it's not there. Yeah, it's fine. Yellow is there. Wow, that is the key breakthrough. That's bizarre. Yellow is there. They are now kind of a set from Guinea or Jamaica or something. It's not here. That is not yellow. That is blue, which is a 4. This is yellow. Let's just get the colours right, which is not a 1. I'm trying to write not a 1 in that. That is 2 or 3. Yellow's there. Now, yellow in this central box, well, I don't know anything about it. It could be in any of those, but it's not in those two. But we've got that blue is a 4, and I'm going to use that. And that, wow, I mean, Alpine Clarity or what? I don't know that I did see this clearly, but I think I did see it. So that's a 1-9 pair. There's no 1 in that set. We can now do 9 and 6 at the bottom. This must help, but I'm not convinced it's gonna finish everything. That sees a 2-3 pair, so that's 1. I can make that orange. The colours seem quite clear in this puzzle, weirdly. I don't know why. Oh, 6 and 9 are both green. Now, this colour is blue. Now, these are 2, 3, 6 now. So this is a 1-4 pair, which doesn't resolve this. It takes 4 out of there, and that is also not yellow or red. So it is 6, which is what I suspected it would be. Now, on this diagonal, we've got 1, 5, 6, 7, and yellow and red 2, 3. Everything else is 4, 8, or 9. 4 is in one of those cells, so it's not there, and one of those cells, so it's not there. So it's up in the corner. And these other two are the 8, 9 pair that I've been agonizing about. Now, 4 is not here anymore. That is 8. Plus either 2, 6 or 3, 5. That's not a 9. Now this column 8, 7, 1, 4, 9, 5. That's not 8. It's 2, 3 or 6. That's not 8. And this row 2, 3, 8, 4. Can I use this 8, 9 pair on the diagonal? They stop either of these cells being 8 or 9. Doesn't look very powerful. Sorry if it is and I can't see it. That 1, 4 pair. 1, 4, 6, 7. 8, 9. Okay, this row. We need yellow in this row. Oh, it's in one of those two, isn't it? We've got a 1, 4 pair there and there, so we need a 1, 4 pair up here. I can write them in. Okay, 4 is the blue, 1 is orange, we're reckoning now. So there's now a 1 in one of those cells. That's not a 1. 1, 4, 8. Oh, 9 in this box is definitely in one of these. Yes, that's good, because now this is not 9. That's 8 on the diagonal. That's 9 on the diagonal. And now that's not 9, but also that's not 9. That's 1. Let's do the colouring there. And we find a 1 over here. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. I still don't know which of red and yellow is 2 and 3. That's quite amusing. That one and that one are a pair, although I don't know their colours. So that is 6 or 7, and this is 6, 7 or 8. In fact, 6, 7 and 8 are the only digits I have to fill in box 3. That's a 6, 7, 8 triple in the top row, so that's not a 6, and the 9 in the top row goes here now. 9, 1, 4, 2, 3, 8. This is 5, 6 or 7. Ah, 6 is looking at that. That's been looking at that for ages. I'm sorry I didn't notice, but there we go. Now, this is going to sort it out. Is it going to sort out the 3s and 2s? No, it just, well, it gives me a 3 in the corner. Hurrah! Proving its position there. 6, 7 pair there. Now, uniqueness tells me that's an 8, but nothing else yet. This one, however, has become a 6, which has no colour, I believe, in this puzzle. So these are 2 and 3, which do have colours, but I don't know what they are. That's not 5. I think we are getting there now. That is 5. 5 also doesn't have a colour, but that must now be red. And that is therefore not red, it's the other colour, it's yellow. This one is red. This digit is known, it's a 9. This one is the remaining 2 or 3 and is yellow. That's not yellow. In this row, that's not 2 or 3. So we've got a 1, 4 pair. That's where 8 goes. I'm sorry these deductions take so long. That is 2 and 4 now to make this cage work. And now, no, we don't quite know that yellow is 2. Calm down. I will get there. I will get there. 4 is blue, isn't it? There and there as well. Might as well get the colouring done. This 6 has no colour. 6 is a pale, listless, wan little digit in this puzzle. It'll probably come and bite me in the backside now I've said that. Some brilliant deductions still to make. I wouldn't rule that out at all. Ah, this... No, can't be red, that's all. The reds, I see, the reds and yellows, apart from that pair, the reds are all done. That can't be 8. I'd like to know a digit that can't be. That's what I'd like to know. Now, 1 can't be there, so one of these is a 1. That's good. Now that's a 4. 4 has a colour, we all know its colour. 1 has a colour and is orange, and that is a 4 now, which is blue. Those are not 4s and not blue. They're also not red. One is yellow and one is orange. Oh, look, there's a 2 looking at that cell. Finally, red is a 3. In you go, red. There we go. Those 2 are definitely yellow now. Yellow is a 2. Let's just be careful about where we're putting that. Okay, yellow is a 2. And now that's a 1 and it's orange. Wow, we're getting there now. We're getting there now. Now I'm very confident we're almost there. I've just hit the wrong thing there. I'm trying to hit a 2-digit. This is 176. Now that one was yellow. The colouring really did help. That is why I do not begrudge finishing it off in this puzzle. It was incredibly useful, and I suspect part of the path. Oh, we've got an 8 there. So this is 7. That's 8, 7, 8, 7. I can probably take out the orange and green high digit colouring now, because it kind of, that did its job. In fact, even 8s don't need their colour, but all of the other colouring was very useful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we got it done in every box? No, look, I haven't placed 1 here or here. That's not a 1, no. So, just some 6, 7, 8s to disambiguate now. It must be straightforward. Yes, that's become an 8. This is a 1, 9 pair. I can fill them in finally. Then I get a 1 here. Let's do those 1s to finish off the colouring. 8 is looking at that cell, so we get 8 in box 3. 8 where I knew it would be by uniqueness in box 2. It feels like these 6, 7s are a remaining deadly pattern to me. That can't be right in an Ictus and Florian Wertmann puzzle. And it isn't right, because there's a 6 there. That's good. Whew! That's a really good puzzle. I mean, I've enjoyed every minute of 51 minutes. I know it took them longer to climb the mountain and probably to set the puzzle as well, but that's fabulous. Great stuff from the guys. I've enjoyed that a vast amount, and I hope you have too. Maybe not my solve, but your own solve of it. And I'm delighted they sent it, of course, and I hope they had a great time together. Thank you for keeping in touch with us. We really value it. And thank you for watching us. We value that too. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.